Hello gentlemen, it's another Saturday Skin Showcase. It's July 30, it's time for a new scenery and some new skins to look at. So, here I am. Behold, it is I, Mr. Hedge. Hello. Oh, let's bring you up a little bit. My head was chopped off from the top. How are you doing? So, it's a bit of an interesting week based on with what I was hypothesizing last week. I think we had a bit of a neutered week this week because I think next week, it being a white day, we're going to have a much better week. A much better week with a lot of potential, which we'll show off in a bit. Of course, the main bit would be we didn't get Black Gold Tier 3 last week. This past week, this current week here. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, brain's a bit all over the place because we had some problems to begin with, but now we're fixed. So this would have been a typical week for Black Gold Tier 3, but it didn't happen. So, as I said, I reckon we're going to have a jam-packed, very big, very interesting selection of skins next week. We just got to wait out for that. Of course, White Day is also the best day of the month. But let's put the future aside for now and focus on the now. So what do we have this week? Graffiti Boom Storage, Fire Phoenix Metal Door, JPEG AK, Dragon Rage Bow, Chompy Sap, Zucchini Furnace, Berserker Roadside Gloves, and Meat Double Barrel Shotgun. So SCMM has kind of been up to date for the past few hours. I feel like this is a reasonable bit of data to work with. So I would sit here and say we've got about maybe the past 65 hours since the last Rustore rotation, so we can kind of work with that. So, steadily on, ahead in the lead is the Graffiti Boom Storage, a very nice, interesting looking storage. It got pushed ahead instead of Clothes and Meds. It is a very, very nice, very stylish, very flavourful box skin. It's probably the best graffiti storage in terms of design out of all of them so far. My personal opinion. We will see that when we look at it in game. We also have the Fire Phoenix Metal Door. Now this is made by a newcomer called Huok, and it seems to be doing very, very, very well. Much better than what I was anticipating, because I would have never have guessed this would do 15,000 sales almost in less than 2 days, in less than 48 hours. Oh my god, I got my timing wrong. I didn't mean... Okay, so the data that we have here, it's like up to date for the past maybe 42 hours. It hasn't updated for about 5 hours now. So yeah, we can roll with that. So, for this sheet metal door to have sold that many in the past 2 days is ridiculous. And I'm expecting an even higher number than that because the amounts aren't fully up to date. It's doing better than the AK. It's doing better than the bow. So I'm a little bit surprised by that, but I am also a fair bit worried. So what I'm worried about also applies to the AK. So I reckon the JPEG AK will probably end up at around the same amount of sales as compared to the Thompson. Now, as I mentioned before, Thompsons are very reliable skins. Thompson, the gun, has very high gun demand in-game. People generally love to use the Thompson in Rust. Very reliable, not too hard to get the resources to make for it. It gets used a lot. Therefore, the skins get used a lot. Therefore, the prices of the skins always stay up very nicely. That came out about 2 weeks ago, and it's still selling for about $5. So that's been a success. That sold at around 19,000 sales. I wouldn't be surprised with the numbers I'm seeing so far that the AK is probably going to match up to it. But the real question is it going to reach up and maintain the same sort of price? That's the real question, and that's where I'm starting to think, ugh. So, what is familiar, what is similar with these two? It is based on the fact that we have far too many skins for them. So, with the sheet metal door, as you can see, we have many skins for this. You could sit here and say we are oversaturated with options. There's always probably a cheaper or similar door. So, if we scroll up, we can see some instances of glow-in-the-dark doors that are cheap. We can see some instances of doors that are the same colour, sort of the same design. This is the problem when you have far too many options. The cheapest sheet metal door, 83 cents. It goes that low if it can. So the most recent sheet metal doors, well, what do we have here? There you go. It's not been very good for these past few weeks, these past few editions of new door skins. Down 21%, down 15%, down 65%, down 37%. Not the best. Not the best so far. The only positive we've had in all of 2022 is the Evil Heart door. Will this do better? Well, for example, see this glow-in-the-dark door right here? That sold at 14,354. At the moment, after 2 days, this door has sold already more than that one. So, if you're thinking about design or glow-in-the-dark or whatever, this has already surpassed this one's amount of sales. So, will it hold up? I'm not sure. There's clearly a very high demand for this, but I was simply not expecting it. It's come out of nowhere. I don't know. This one's really puzzled me. It's not from a known creator. It's a brand new guy. It's really out of place. I cannot describe, We'll leave it for now. We'll talk about it when we look at it in game. To also follow from that, we have far too many AK-47 skins. And usually we get like a new AK every other week. So, new AK, buy it, throw away the old one. Oh wait, it's a new rotation. Oh, new AK. Oh, throw that one away, get a new one. I keep making the same joke, but this is exactly what keeps happening. I must have said that same joke maybe 5 times already with all of these AKs. Kevlar AK came out at $3.49. Now it's down by 69%. Noir AK came out at $2. Now it's down by 34%. Down 39%. Down 51%. Down 31%. Do you think this will do well? It does have a design that stands out very nicely in comparison to all of these other ones. That's true. That is 100% true. But will the curse of the AK continue on? Because the collection might be doing very nicely, but that doesn't necessarily mean it will do nicely as well. Do you not remember the Black Gold AK-47? This was actually the very first Black Gold skin to have come out. And what happened from there was, well, it had fear of missing out. A lot of people thought, oh wow, this is going to be a super amazing, interesting set. And it was, but far too many were bought. People got, what's the word? They got a bit too hyped up. The price went up all the way up to $10, and then it crashed because people started dumping them, and then it dumped, and then they dumped, and then they dumped, and it went down and down and down and down, and it didn't hold its value because, of course, we got more and more AKs. So I don't think this is going to have a bright future. Maybe if a whole bunch of people bought them immediately when the rotation happens again next week, maybe they could force it to stay up. But I don't imagine people are going to be loyal to their new AK because in many other instances before, people are simply not loyal to their AK. Now, we pointed this out already 2 days ago. This AK does not glow in the dark. It's a mistake. I don't know why it said it glows in the dark in the Rust store. It does not glow in the dark. I don't know what happened there. So just to point that out now. Dragon Rage Bow is doing perfectly fine. I honestly thought Dragon Rage Bow would probably do just as good as the AK. And in all fairness, it's kind of close, but not as close. I'm looking at this Dragon Rage Bow and I'm thinking it's probably going to land maybe around 15,000 sales. That would be probably if it... I don't fully think so, but you can see this is, like many other Dragon Rage skins we've had, this definitely isn't looking like it's going to be oversaturated, which is good. We don't want any oversaturation to happen all over again, because Dragon Rage has been a bit of a problem ever since its release. The weapons haven't been too bad. This was down by 13%, this was down by 15%. And as I've said many times before, we've just gone through a market dip. I still think we're sort of in it. We haven't even had a summer hype. I have not seen signs of a massive amount of demand. I have not seen any signs of loads of people buying out skins and prices all going up. We've been in a dip ever since the beginning of May. Will we jump out of it soon? Hopefully. I don't know how many times I have to mention Antwerp 2022, but let's not do it that much today. So I reckon with the amount of sales that we have here being quite low in comparison to this and this so far, I do think this is going to sell more than this. But as we know of LR300s, they are not easy to come by in game. They have low gun demand, and unfortunately, their skins suffer because of it. A bow, you can easily get a bow. It's not hard. And this is definitely one of the better bow skins to have come out in recent times. I do feel like this has a nice future ahead of it. That nice bit of golden dragon on the side, perfect. Let me just read what you're saying on the side here. So everybody's saying hello. So hello everybody. Thank you all for appearing today. Let's just give you a nice little... Let's just throw you up on here. Look, everybody's here. Hello people. We only just got started, so we've only got a few people to begin with. But as time goes on, we will get more. So as I'm just trying to point out to you, whoever might be watching this on YouTube, I stream this on every Saturday on my Twitch. I always put my my details in the description for YouTube videos. If you want to pop in, say hello whenever you want, or come here live when I do the Saturday Skin Showcase with Micro. Come say hello. You're more than welcome. And if you've got questions, I can help you out. Let's just quickly see here. I'm just quickly reading. Doesn't seem like anybody's asking any questions, so I shall move on. So, Chompy Sap and Meat Double Barrel Shotgun, because these were made by the same creator, and this is really weird. We do not, and I repeat, we do not normally ever see this happen. I don't think this has happened much before. We did see it happen during the combat update, but that was a bit of an anomaly. We've talked about that. Face Punch really dig deep to try and find some decent skins for all of the weapons that had a recall update, and it just so happened that one guy had 3 very good skins that came out in the recent months, and he got 3 skins just for that combat update. I mean, we'll show you. What was his name? It was Mr. Verona. That's it. He had 3 skins during 1 week. We don't normally see that happen. And we definitely don't normally see it happen with just 2 on a regular week. That doesn't have an update. So don't assume this is regular. So, pistol skins. Semi-automatic pistol. They have not been doing too good recently. I don't imagine this is going to be a great profit. Do you remember when we talked about the prototype sap and we thought that looked really cool? Well, now that's down by $1.33. Do you remember the Waves of Dawn sap that came out on that combat update? Now it's down to $1. Unfortunately, sap skins, the new ones, they don't have that much demand, it seems. Yes, it might have sold very nicely these past 2 days. Almost 7,000 sales. But it's most likely not going to stick. It's most likely not going to maintain its value. It is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But that is just usually how it is sometimes. So, yeah. And then when we look at the double barrel shotguns, well, all I had to do was just look at all of the recent ones that came out. And it's quite obvious. None of them have done well. Even the tempered double barrel shotgun. Yes, that sold at $3.49. It was at a higher price. But that didn't do too well. Lightweight didn't do too well. Carrot didn't do too well. Glister didn't do too well. This had around 11,000 sales. This had around 16,000 sales. This had around 14,000 sales. We can reference these because I don't think we're going to reach as much as this lot. I reckon we're probably going to end up at around 10,000 or 11,000 sales. And if Glister didn't do too good, I don't imagine this is going to do too good either. Yes, it looks very gory. It's literally meat, but I don't imagine it's going to be doing super amazingly. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. So I don't think that's going to do too good either. And you can kind of realise it already based on the amount of sales that it's already had. It's the lowest bought thing. The demand for it just isn't there. So now we look at the zucchini. Yes, our vegetables. We're getting a lot of them this year. We've had, what? Cucumber Ioka. Now we've got zucchini furnace. What's next? So, let's go take a look at all of the recent furnace skins that we've had this year. And, yeah, it's a bit of a pickle. It's a bit of a problem. Throughout all of this year, we have not had one... Well, Spray Can might have just recently dipped down, but yeah, throughout all of this year we haven't had a furnace skin in the positive. Bunny and Spray Can kind of weren't. It's a bit awkward with these two. So yeah, again, market dip, so that's affected prices. But this one and this one have kind of been alright. They're very colourful. That one's very colourful. That one's extremely goofy. People like stupid things like this. So these have a reason for why they would be quite alright. But everything else is just a bit bland, unfortunately. I know that sounds a bit mean, but with everyone with a spooky, weird looking face, there's probably an already good one that's already come out before that's more in demand. And the nice tapestry design all around the furnace, that's been done before as well. So we're kind of seeing similar things now with other... Remember what I said with the door? We've already had many doors with the similar designs, with the similar colour schemes. People would probably most likely just go back to them if they already own them. So this is very unique, and I don't think we have anything like it. You could look through everything. We have a fish, we have an ice cream, we have a lantern, strawberry, but I don't see a zucchini, I don't see a vegetable, so maybe, just maybe, it will do alright. It's a very goofy design, it's a very fun design. But with the amount of demand it currently has, I'm sitting here thinking it's probably not going to be super amazing. It will probably maintain its price. It will probably maintain its value. But I just don't see it doing super amazingly well instantly. It's not going to be a great short-term success. Maybe in the long term it'll flourish. But with the amount that I've sold so far, I reckon we're probably going to reach maybe 12,000 sales. And now we've got Berserker Roadside Gloves. And I did point this out when they appeared. Berserker is actually doing quite alright at the moment. Berserker, the tier 3s had better days. But even then that's doing better than the worst of it. In fact, these have improved. This has climbed back up to the positive. And this probably doesn't have much until it's back in the positive as well. So Berserker, as a set, has been proven to be a very nice success. Loads of people like it. Lots of people have been using it. The price has been steadily up. It's been steadily in the positive. So this has been a success, and now we've got gloves. Will the gloves do alright, do you reckon? Well, with the set being in demand, that's a positive. So with that, I could say yes. But then we also want to take a look and see, well, how have all of the other roadside gloves recently done in the past? And as you can see, they have done quite alright. This is part of a set. It's done alright. This is part of a set. It's done alright. This is part of a set. It's only down by 2%. This is part of a set. It's done alright. Frosty never completed, so I'm not surprised it suffered. Frosty as a whole has suffered. Hopefully, we see this finished for the winter this year, hopefully. I'd like to see it happen. But what I should also point out is Target is still in the process of completing itself still. But at the moment, even that is in the positive. So, looks like roadside gloves are a perfectly fine thing to jump into. Especially the 99 cents ones. Those tend to be more reliable. Except that one. Except that one and that one. But everything else, you're more likely to succeed than fail, it seems. And with the amount that I've sold so far, it doesn't look like we're going to be buying too many. So the gloves seem to be doing alright. So everything as of now isn't too much of a surprise except this door. I still don't understand this door. It's still a surprise to me. So, I think that's everything covered there. So don't forget, guys, always make sure you keep an eye on your followed authors. Remember to, if you don't know how to curate your own workshop with your own followed authors, I do have videos to explain this. So curating your own workshop, where is the video? Here you are. How to set up a curated Rust workshop for yourself. It's right next to the Do Furnace Skins Glow. So if you can see that thumbnail, it's the one right next to it. And basically, with everything that we're going to show off that's in the workshop today, we've already seen it here. So we've got a lot of interesting things to show off, but we've also got all of this to show off. So, let's just get a real quick look at what's on the front page. Nothing of interest, except maybe that, because it's being boosted. But let's now go take a look and see the skins in-game. So, it's time to show off the skins in-game. We have a very, very nice new home to show off to all of you today. And I have Mr. Micro over here as well. Hello, Mr. Micro. I mean, you can talk. You're not a mime. So, is that an aeroplane? Oh dear. They do fly very low recently, haven't they? So let's turn this to daytime. Hello, Mr. Micro. How are you doing? Are you here? Are you alive? He's got a phone. What's happened? Micro, what's going on? Hello?
Well, hello.
Alright, so we weren't on Discord. Okay, so one technical problem after another. We screwed up. Okay, well, I screwed up. So, hello, I was wondering what you were trying to imply. I didn't realise that we weren't talking to each other. So how are you doing today, Mr. Micro? Can everybody hear Mr. Micro?
Fine, thanks.
Test your voice out.
I want to get my phone back, and I got to put it in the barbecue over here for one last time.
Yes, we've got the... did you just eat your phone? So what Mr. Micro is pointing out is this is the last week that you can put random stuff in the barbecues, in the fireplaces, in the furnaces, because from as of next week, you will not be able to do this anymore. The new furnace cooking system is coming in, isn't it? What's it called? What system is it called?
Well, I'm not sure it has a formal name, but it's going to restructure the way the furnace UI looks. So you could call it a cooking UI update.
Yeah. So, yep, as of next week, you'll not be able to stash away random things in your barbecues, fireplaces, and furnaces. That will be the end of it. And he just cooked his phone. So, aren't you very, very clever? Right, so, shall we start showing off all of the new things? Starting off with the zucchini. So, Mr. Micro, you were actually very successful in thinking this would be accepted, didn't you? We have, right here, a very, very, very large vegetable that can be cooked. Or, well, it can cook for us. Would you mind turning it on for me, Mr. Micro? Thank you very much. Nice and bright and orange. Here is the Zucchini Fireplace. How about we make it nighttime? Ta-da! So, is this something you might want to be interested in? Do you want a gigantic zucchini to cook all of your metal and sulfur things? It is literally that. I don't know how else to put it. It's got some nice leafy bits to the side, but this is a fairly basic, straight to the point sort of joke sort of idea. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not against it. It seems perfectly fine. It still works perfectly fine. It's a goofy design, but you know what? Some people do like their vegetables quite a lot. Do you have any other comments to say to it? Because we did show this off last week, didn't we?
Yep, we did show it. I mean, I'm not surprised it got in. It's pretty well done. It makes use of a cool technique with the glow, with the way it sort of has this like translucent kind of effect. So congratulations to him. Bravo for a job well done. I think it's a cute idea and well executed. So
all of my chat is applauding the zucchini. Okay.
We're in unanimous agreement. It's a perfect addition to Rust. And it, you know, I brought in the cucumber Iyoko, we could have like a father and son moment here.
you could store the Iyoko in there. Haha. Not anymore though.
Yeah, for this week. Yep.
Yeah. Right, shall we move on to the door, sir? Because I am perplexed with this door. Do you come over here? Don't be shy, run.
I'll take a stroll over here.
Okay. So, this is a completely new creator, but you had the hunch it probably isn't a completely new creator, do you? Do you think it's...
He seems skilled. He seems like he knows what he's doing.
Exactly. Like, look at the design of this. Maybe. Now, it's... we're going to be bringing this up later, aren't we? But you might sit here and say it doesn't really seem like a Rust sort of skin. It's not like a Rust feel, Rust theme sort of skin. But at the end of the day, I look at that and I think, wow, that's art. Like, it doesn't glow. So let me just point this out to you. This doesn't glow. May you turn the lights off, please, sir? And the other one. Aha. So, see, that does not glow. If I turn the morning on, you can see that the reflection of the tips, it reflects light very, very nicely, but it does not glow. So, what type of map would be used here to reflect light? What's that called?
Because it's probably the spec gloss map, I would imagine.
Spec gloss, because it's clearly not glow. Glow is its own thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's its own emissive map.
So, what do you feel like with this? Because I am confused. Micro, how's this sold 15,000 already? Is it?
You know, we saw some phenomena very similar with the Aftermath garage door from Stabby, right? That thing has no glow. It's sold like crazy, and I believe it's on account of the beautiful sculptured job.
You know what?
A very well executed, very well artistic. You know, I have no words for it. It's just really nicely done.
Let's get nice up close. Ooh, door. Very nice.
You know what? Let me show this, put a light on it from an angle to put it into relief, sort of, so you can see a little bit more depth. Maybe if you, yeah.
Wow. That does look really nice when you put the light on it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty nicely done, and there's something to be said for something that doesn't glow. We see a lot of people going with the glow because that had a bit of novelty to it when we first started seeing it. But now that it's becoming so heavily used, it's almost refreshing to see something that doesn't glow.
Yes, that is true. It became like a cheap, well, what's the word? It's like sugar. People like sugar, and you can just add some sugar to make something taste a little bit better. But when everything's sugary, I don't want sugar anymore. Give me something savoury. Give me something meaty. Give me something well sculpted. And that, Mr. Hewick, you did a very nice job here. We do like this a lot. Right, so Mr. Micro, I'm going to take a look at all of the weapons. I would like you in position, but first of all, I'm going to show them off to myself, and then I would like to show them off with you standing over there. So, let's just bring up the UI. So, I shall start off with the cheapest skin so far. It is the double barrel shotgun, as we can see right here. Just give it a quick look. Very meaty. All meat on the bone. Looks lovely. If only I could stew it. I just need some vegetables. Ooh. So, let's just give this a nice quick look. And, of course, it looks very meaty. I think Mr. Micro fell off.
You heard that?
Yes.
Oops, I twisted my ankle a little bit.
I think
okay.
You're having some technical difficulties now, aren't you? I don't think I have time to help you. I'll throw a rope down in a minute. So we got this very nice meaty looking gun. And then next we have the crocodile. It's not crocodile, it's wooden croc. I've already forgotten his name. It's wooden croc toy gun? I can't remember.
No, keep trying. I'll throw you a lifeline if you need it.
Wooden toy croc.
No.
No, what's it called?
It's called the Chompy SAP.
No, it's because wasn't its workshop name different?
Yeah.
Yes, I remembered its workshop name because I saw this.
That's right.
I saw this earlier this week on Monday when it first appeared. Remember what I said? Having a curated workshop means you can see everything appear before most other people. I've been anticipating these things a whole lot faster than you have. A whole lot more than you have. Don't know why I said faster. A lot more. So yeah, nice design. Has a little aim sight there. Nice and red. Helpful for most environments. So as you can see there, it's not too hard, not too hard, not too hard, not too hard. Very handy. We've already seen that. Now, here is the Comics... no, what's it called again? JPEG. Why did I say Comics? I looked at Comic AK just before this. I'm very, very sorry. JPEG AK-47. Very nice design. I don't think we have that strange lighting problem from the SAR this week, which is good. No, that's all nice. I aim down. No particular aim sight help here. And now we'll quickly look at the bow. So, here I am. The dragon is on the bow, and he looks very, 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 very nice. Hello, Mr. Dragon. There is a polar bear over there for some reason. Hello, Mr. Polar Bear. Uh-oh. Die. Okay. So, the AK is very good at killing the polar bears. You just hang in there, buddy. Don't worry. So, yep, AK's pretty good. I've just proven it to be no cake. Sorry, that wasn't by plan. So, yeah, there's a bit of pink for the tip here, but it kind of meshes for the rest of it. So, I'm not sure if that pink aim sight's going to help you much. Now, some of you are probably asking, do these glow? And I'm going to sit here and tell you, of course not, because that's not allowed anymore. See? 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 So, yep. Now, Mr. Micro, how are you doing, Mr. Sir? How is everything?
Just fine.
Hey, here he is. He jumped up. I didn't know you've been practicing your high jump. The Olympics is a good few years away.
I did some physical therapy after that ankle injury, and it really it helped with my vertical leap. So,
right then, let's zoom in into you. Let's take a real close-up look and see that meaty gun. So I kind of showed it off when I had it in my hands, but now we're going to take a real good look up close and see what you got there. Is that a flashlight on the shotgun?
A flashlight, or in this case,
attachment.
Maybe it's a flashlight. I don't know.
Anyway,
it's a meat and bone joke. Come on.
Anyway. Anyway, it's a nice looking novelty type of gun. Very silly. If I look at it from the side angle, very, very nice. The prime cut. Alright, switch weapon, good sir. Now we have the Chompy. Do you know what would be an instant improvement, but it can't be done? If this had googly eyes and they wobbled when you ran with it. That's something
that would be amazing.
That's something where I've looked at it more and more, and I thought if that was possible, that would be perfect. Like, that is the one thing this weapon needs. I did say I'd like to see a jackhammer version, but with like an anteater, and if the needle bit was its tongue, that'd be awesome. That would be
cool.
That would be very cool.
That'd be funny.
So yeah, this is the pistol. So how about you swap to something else?
All right. How about this here AK?
Wow. So first of all, I should just quickly ask, what are you currently wearing right there? The charitable rust clothing?
Yeah, it's the charitable rust clothing from last year's event, and I could probably say a few words about this year's event if you're interested.
We shall finish looking at the skins first, and then we'll talk about it if you want.
Okay.
That looks pretty nice of a pose there, Mr. Micro, in the early morning sun. Right, how about you whip out the last one, the bow? So yes, that's a very nice looking bow. Very nice looking bow skin. The dragon sizing up right there on the side. Looks very nice. Stands out, bright in the sun. Let's get that there. Very cool. Let's get it in the night with all the lights reflecting it. Perfection. I like it. I like it a lot, Mr. Micro. I expected it to be accepted. We haven't had like a real standout bow skin all of this year, and now we got one. So, nice looking pose there. Would you like to talk about charitable rust real quickly then?
Sure. Well, it's been in the works now for a year. I mean, they do it every year, but each year around the November time, we have the big event. And so it's done in collaboration with Rustified, I believe, or at least they contribute resources towards the event. And this year's charity is the World Central Kitchen. And they, it's like a food type relief aid for people in need. And this year's milestone is targeted for the collective $1 million mark. So currently to date, the charity's raised $805,000 since 2015, and the target for this year is to hit the $1 million mark. So that's the the big event this year is happening tentatively, at least, scheduled for, I think it was November 19th. I should be more certain of that.
Towards maybe mid to late November, we could say safely, like maybe mid-November, around then. But if you looked it up online, you'd probably find it.
Yeah, we could put a link in the description or whatever if we wanted to, but it is tentatively scheduled for November 19th and 20th. And like the 19th is the big stream. Rustified's doing like a 12-hour Twitch stream with a bunch of like streamer, like big, popular streamers. Like there's a ton of people in the server already. I've already seen the list. There's like, quite a few of the main Rust streamers, and even some like throwback streamers. Like last year, there was people from like OG days. So yeah, that's pretty much the charity. And then of course, in an effort to promote it, they have a list of like skins they're going to be doing. So there's going to be 4. This is tentatively, but I think there's going to be 4 item store skins, and I believe there's also 4 charitable Rust Twitch drops.
So if I recall, last year when we had charitable skins, the whole week, none of the skins were marketable. It was all for charity. You bought for the sake of kindness and helping others. So,
that's right.
Yep. So that is true. During the whole event, you'll have skin drops, and of course, all the purchases you make will be permanent skins. But we don't have to worry too much about that for now. We're about, 3 months away from there, but not a bad thing to bring up just now. You can learn all about that now. Learn all about it now. You can look it up online. You can. Is there a specific website available for all of the information?
Yeah, charitablерust.com.
There you go. So, what do you reckon we'll get for skins this year? What would you like to see?
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone knows yet what they're going to be. Besides, it's between the creators, like the artists, and the Twitch. It's the Twitch streamers who are getting drops, and of course the partnership with Charitable Rust. I'm not sure who makes the decision there.
Micro, you can say miner's hat. You can say you want a miner's hat.
Well, that would be my go-to. You know that.
Perilous Outlaw straight up points out that it's expected to be November 19th and 20th. So, yeah, it's got to be that date then, I'm sure.
Yep.
So,
but the big date is the 19th.
Cool. So, oh wait, there's one more thing to show off. I completely forgot. It was quite sneaky. It is the Berserker Gloves. Yeah, let's go show off those gloves. Hello, beautiful. How are you? So, look at those gloves. Oh, no. So we've got these gloves right here. As we can see, let's make it nighttime. Get the focus on them. Looking very nice and swanky. Now, there is one thing I wanted to point out. We only got one piece of armour and clothing this week, didn't we? That's not normal. And that's a bit odd, isn't it? I'm kind of thinking that we might be having another situation where they're holding back this week because they're going to release a whole bunch more green stuff next week. Remember, I'm talking about green, like, category. So green category skins would be armour and clothing. If we've only had one this week, I'm anticipating we're going to get Black Gold Tier 3, and I reckon we're going to get some extra bits with it as well. What those extra bits might be, I guess we're just going to zoom right into Micro there. I'm not sure, but for now, Berserker is in demand. People do like Berserker. We have a nice welcome addition to it. So, let's go zoom back out, because there is the last skin to talk about, which is going to make us discuss a whole lot more. Do you have any extra words?
Yeah, can you come and get a close-up of the palm of the glove?
Okay, I can try my best here. The palm. So you want me to look inside it?
Yeah.
Let's get making point time.
This is a special request from Mr. Metatron.
Oh, sorry. Is that detailed enough? It's like a bee, isn't it? If you're going to put your hand out like that, that would be like a bee. Berserker. Is that like the set symbol? I don't. Wait, I can turn this around, can't I? How do I twist it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, yeah.
How do I?
It was control, I believe.
Way! Oh, wait, I can't coordinate myself. Where am I? Okay, can you see that's a B? Because I'm a bit the gravity. Oh, okay, we can respect that's a B. I've lost my equilibrium. Um,
All right, Hedge, come back to Earth. Come back.
yeah,
Come back.
yeah.
There we go. Breathe, breathe, breathe.
So now we're going to move on to the last skin that we haven't talked about just yet, and it's going to be something that we're going to start talking about a whole lot of, because if you recall last week, we were discussing, the two of us, about put some clothes on you. Anyway,
Also, I'm gonna fulfill another request for Mr. Metatron, who wanted to see how the Chompy sap looked on my hip with the Forest Raiders gear.
all right then, we'll do that real quickly. You know, you do look a bit silly with the Berserker Gloves whilst having Forest Raiders on. Yeah,
Don't cyberbully me, please.
looks fairly okay. Do you reckon that looks good?
Yeah, the greens. I guess the greens don't match exactly, but they're not far off. I mean, if you're gonna be working with like a green sort of foresty scheme for your fit, then it blends in reasonably enough.
Sounds
I mean,
good.
I think it's pretty. I don't know. I would carry it just for the meme, just because it's a cool sap.
Looking very, very nice. Forest Raiders really was a nice set. It really was. And now we're never going to get another green set, are we? Should get more and more and more black sets. That's what
Never say never.
That's what people
Never
like
say
to
never.
complain about. Anyway, let's focus this. So, here is the boombox. Look at it in all of its glory. In fact, I must look at it nice and slow as we zoom in close to the font. Be amazed at how they've utilised the font itself to bring out its uniqueness. They've used the font as part of the explosion. And if you recall what we were talking about last week, we were describing how we enjoy how each of these boxes that comes out every week with the graffiti set is its own unique special thing. And in this particular instance, this is probably the best use of the actual graffiti font out of all of the other skins in this set. This Kaboom that you see right here, well, it's actually just Boom, but you get the idea. That Boom looks fantastic. They've used it as the explosion, and it wraps up very, very nicely around all of those explosives right there. This is the most thematically pleasing one I've seen, in my opinion. I can't express it enough how well of a job that this guy did here, Mr. Loddy, and his crew. Because it's not just him, is it? It's a whole group of people, if I'm correct.
Well, he's got a friend, Ebu, and Ebu's really the graphical artist, and I think Lottie does the 3D part of it. That's my interpretation.
Very, very nice. And there's a special thing about this in the fact that over here we have the clothes and the meds. So let's just go. So we were expecting one of these two to appear this week, but what happened was Boom Storage appeared this Monday, and I'm pretty sure Face Punch looked at it and thought, "That's awesome. We gotta accept that right now," and that's exactly what they did. So, clothes and meds have been held back. Meds has been in the workshop for about 2 weeks now. Clothes has been in the workshop for about a few days less. And will we be seeing one of these two appear in the next Rustore rotation? I'm pretty sure. Because as I was talking about, I reckon Face Punch is probably well aware of the things I'm well aware of, based on the fact that, do you remember when I talked about how the four main boxes I recall that tend to perform the most the best out of all of the other main sets that we've had with graffiti storage sets is guns, armor, Dropbox, and clothing. I'm led to believe that they're going to hold back clothing to then release next week. They want clothing. They want Black Gold Tier 3, and they're going to want that fridge over there. But we'll talk about that fridge in a minute. Because they are going to have a jam-packed, super big fat week for next week, for Wipe Day, for all of the people coming back to play Rust. They want to entice them with very nice looking, valuable looking, interesting looking, amazing things that they would want to buy. So, why not put out your very best for Wipe Day when so many more people are around to look at it, want it, and buy it? More eyes, more attention, more purchases, more money and more profit potential. Make sense? So I reckon it's probably going to be clothes next week. Watch it be meds. But you know, we waited on scrap for about 2.5 months and it finally appeared. So let's make it daytime because I want to start talking about all of these again. We've had some extra inclusions. Now we're looking at all of the things that have appeared in the workshop quite recently. So, as we move on over to here, we have more of the transparent AF set. Last week we showed off comps. Earlier this week we got tools. And I think he's really bringing out the unique design and interesting ideas of... well, just look at it. This is the unique special thing about the transparent set. He quite literally places all of the things that are supposed to be inside it, and he makes it glow and appear as if you can see through it. It's literally written in the name, and that's awesome. So over here I see tools, and up here I see components, all of the random bits and bobs, the nooks and crannies, all of that right there. Very, very nice. And during daytime, as we can see it much better in colour. We can see quite literally the hatchets and the other tools in there, the pickaxe and whatnot. So that stands out very, very, very nicely to me. And then over here we have the carved wood set. So this is kind of reminded me of a scientific set. So if we just make it like morning time, it's got the same type of lighting placement as the scientific storage, if you recall. Scientific storage had a very sensible amount of light. Carvable wood seems to be fairly similar in design with both of these. It's just a difference of the font, a slightly, obviously a different colour for the main box and whatnot. But other than that, it's quite literally almost the same thing as we can see here. Here, wood. And I go right through it just down over here, and over here it'll say here, stone. So if you can kind of see both of them, you might realise it's pretty much the exact same design. Kind of copy, cut and paste there. Other than that, some people like simplicity. Would you want that? Choice is yours. I have my my preferences for special unique designs and whatnot. So I really like this transparent set, for example. Now we go over to here. Oh look, have you produced an example, Mr. Micro? We'll have a look then. So as I said, all of the placement for the lighting is near enough almost the same over here. He just doesn't have the side, the top and the bottom bits for the long part right there. So yeah, on the top that only has 2 sides. On the top here it has all 4 sides. And just to point out, the schematics and the designs, that's what made it unique. But over here, this doesn't really have anything unique. And now we look at the display box. Display box for weapons and display box for armor. So if I recall, Micro, the creator of this set has actually already made these. Is that correct? He's already made like a batch of 4.
There's, I believe, 4 that exist right now. He's already basically done the texturing and everything, because we saw that in some of the renders on the workshop page.
So each design has various different pictures of what you might put inside it. So there's the coffee can. And sorry, I'm a bit stuck here. There is the tier 3. No, that's not tier 3, is it? That is heavy.
That's the heavy
armor.
Heavy plate. Yeah.
Heavy plate. I haven't seen that in a long time. and there is your face mask. And then if we come down here with this new weapons one, we can see that we have an LR300 at the front, right there. We have an AK-47 right here at the very top. And if we move to the back, we have an L96 right there. Now, if we look at the glow-in-the-dark colouring, it is kind of like a, what would you call it? It's not necessarily a computer. It's a big piece of hardware. A very secure lockbox, maybe? A safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably what it's like, electronic safe. So that's quite interesting in design. But talking about copy and paste, if we just kind of go up here, you might notice that if you look at all of the button placement at the top and at the side, if we just look here as well, you may notice that it's exactly the same on each and every single one of them. The only thing that's different with these boxes is the colours, the name, and the pictures, and that's it. So again, we're seeing some similarities that this one had. It doesn't necessarily have anything that makes it super unique. In terms of all of the boxes, there's not the extra little something that makes it stand out from the others. There's not an extra little something that makes it its own unique thing. So I like the design of it. I think the idea of it is cool, but it is just missing that extra little special thing that makes it gives it its own identity for each of the boxes. Right here, as I said, transparent, I can see literally all of the things inside it. You probably don't even need the name. You could figure out what it is. That's what makes it special. That's what makes it stand out. And now over here, oh, we got. You just decided to put one here, did you?
Just so you can get a nice clean shot of the end of it for Perilous.
Oh, okay. Perilous wants to see the end. So that sides have pistol and MP5. Oh, so that means it's probably got over here the Roadside vest. And over here it has the tier 3 chest plate. So there you go, Perilous. So, is that something you might want? Because you know what? Not everybody likes a super unique, special sort of design. A lot of people would like the straightforward design of that. I can see that. I can understand that. There's a lot of personal preference and personal taste. But with what I see, I would like just an extra little bit of something to make it stand out. Other than that, I don't hate it. I like what it is. It's an interesting design to me, and I feel like it's an interesting set. But I just have something that I can compare it to. Mostly that boom storage at the moment. And now we go over here to what is called the accumulate. What is it called?
Cumulative pig.
I was about to say accumulated. The accumulative pig. If you look at the design at the front, quite literally you can see a piggy there. Eyes and a snout. Haha. So
there's a little tail on the back too.
Ooh, it's the handle. Let's just make that note. Alright, so what makes this unique? It doesn't actually have a name on it. It doesn't have any font. It doesn't have like a label.
It does on the ends.
Does it? Let's just quickly look at daytime. At the end, do you mean the sides? Ah, there you go. Hang on a minute. How do you place these in a storage? Are you going to be able to see that?
Like that. Usually you put them facing the ends, like ends out.
Okay.
I think that's why Paris was so focused on that.
Okay, yeah, that does help then. So, all right, that's understanding how people operate in the game. That's understanding and thinking in terms of the design for how are people going to be looking at these. So that's a pretty good idea there. So what we have here that's unique about them is that they put the picture of all of the whatever you put inside it literally all over the box. But as you might notice, it quite literally is the same box just with different pictures. And if we look at it at night time, it's literally the same colour glow. All of the boxes are the same, but the pictures are different. And the name is different, and that's it. So this is where I ask you, the people who are currently watching me, and the people out there that might be watching this on YouTube, do you kind of understand where I like and where I point out how I like my extra individual specialized sort of bits of design that makes these stand out. I can look at every single one of Graffiti's, and I might just look at it and notice just something extra about it. I talked about this last week. It took me a while to realise the Meds has bandages all over it. It has an extra bit of like coloration with its plus symbol. Plus symbol usually in games would imply that you're being healed and whatnot. That's cool. I look at clothes over here. What do we have to showcase for this? It's got patchwork. So quite literally, all the clothes that you put in it, they've been stitched up and fixed and sewed together and whatnot. Just an extra little something that makes it stand out and be cool, be interesting. So I like that. They also have some text. I can't see it very well, but they do have various bits of text that are ever so slightly different in all of the boxes. And remember, when we look back over here of the boom storage, all it had to do was emphasise the boom, the explosion, use the font wonderfully just to show off how well and how creative these boxes can be. It's literally just making good use of the graffiti theme. So, what do you reckon? Out of all of these 4 storages, these are 4 different creators that are trying to be the next storage collection creator. It is a wonderful opportunity to have because you're pretty much guaranteed to have at least several weeks of having a 100% guaranteed slot with a new storage skin. Graffiti so far has had how many weeks? What is it, 11 so far? We're probably going to be definitely doing up to 13. I'm pretty sure both of those will be accepted as well. I reckon Graffiti is probably going to end up becoming an 18, at the minimum 18 skin set complete. Out of these 4, what would you like? Because I feel like I've given them enough of my opinion where you could probably judge it yourself. Like, do you want quite a complicated design, or do you want something that's fairly different but still simplistic? Remember, if you go look at neon storages now, they're fairly samey, aren't they? Nothing really strikes out as super defined and characteristic for each individual box. It's just a different colour and a different name. Creators are being more creative. We've seen this now with the scientific storage, where they added all the different schema and formulas and whatnot, and now we're seeing it with graffiti storage. How far can they go? I'm very impressed with Transparent over there. But I do like all of these in their own different way. Because you know what? Sometimes you just need something simple. Not everybody wants a super flashy box. They want something that's a bit more grounded. You know, there's a lot of people that always cry out and say, this skin doesn't suit Rust. We should have more skins that suit Rust. And then they never point out what they are. Lots of people love to moan. So, here is the 4 people vying for that ever so lovely position. Micro, there is actually an extra one, isn't there? There's another box.
Before we move on to that, let me just make one suggestion that you could show one more thing, and that is if you get up close to the top of the accumulative pig boxes, you'll see that these are normal map to look like. Actually, you know, they respond to light. So if you get up kind of on an angle or kind of close, and now change the lighting, you'll see that they respond to light. Like there's actually, you know, items in the box that reflect light depending on the angle of the light and whatnot. So it gives a little bit more depth and more realism as you're moving around in your base. You know, you might catch light glimpsing off of it, or as the ambient light changes, you'll see different patterns appear. And so, yeah, it's another little detail that's kind of overlooked from a distant view. So I just wanted to point out that there's a little subtle detail there that might not be immediately obvious. Like these storage boxes, the graffiti ones, are pretty much a flat texture across the surface. I mean, they do have some surface level details like little planks and little wood grain textures and whatnot, but they're not. There's no extra geometry being modeled here.
What you're pointing out is what we pointed out with the store just earlier when we're looking at how it reflects light and how you can see the mapping, the bump map a whole lot better and whatnot. I understand. Interesting. Good point, good sir. Now, shall we show off this other box? What is the correct name for it again? It is the wooden ammo box number 1, correct?
Yeah, ammo on the workshop right now is called ammo wooden box number 1.
I reckon that name's probably a name in progress, probably. But this has actually got a completely different bump map, as you were pointing out to me. Like, the creator's actually gone ahead and made this box actually very unique, if I'm correct, yes?
It's definitely not the default model for the small box.
Let's just get a good look at here. So, what has he changed?
Well, in the little nail details, and he's got some diamond plate texture on the side. So it's, I mean, they're not substantial changes, but they're certainly not just the normal small wood box. It adds a little bit.
I see. But do you know what? We don't have another box in the set to compare to. So I don't know if it's going to be like a copy-paste sort of design in the whole collection or not. But the problem is, like, in terms of game design, there's a bit of a flaw to this. Who wants a small box for ammo storage? Yeah. Is it maybe it's a hidden stash? That's not a bad idea. But you know what? Out of all, with this here, it's at least unique compared to all of those four because it's small. We don't actually have a small box set, do we?
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, you could call it like hidden stash set or something. Like, think about it. It's not a bad idea. But like in terms of game design for this game specifically, I don't think a small ammo box is a good idea. I'm not hating on it, but you can kind of understand it, right? Like, think of all of the things that you'd store in a small box that suits it, like maybe like farming equipment or something, maybe just a small box that you'd put in your right next to your workbench and whatnot. What about furnaces? Yeah, would you put a big box next to the furnaces? Depends how big the room is. You get the idea, don't you? There's definitely probably a better idea of what you could make skins for with the small boxes. You probably won't have as many ideas that would work for it. But at the end of the day, nobody's actually made a small box set. So technically speaking today, we've shown off five contenders to be the next storage collection. Which one's it going to be, gentlemen? Which one do you think will be potentially the one to take over from Graffiti Storage? What one is your favourite? I should actually start reading what you're saying. So Caprazoppa said he likes the pig one's aesthetic. He thinks it's cool, but he would get confused every time with ammo and scrap. The pig looks like someone put ammo in epoxy. The pig looks like someone put ammo in epoxy. What's epoxy again?
It's like a hard resin. You know, you pour it. It's like a chemical, like liquid. You usually mix it in 2 parts, and then when it sets in place, it turns into like a solid block. So you could cast it into forms, or what he's describing is like somebody filled this box with ammo or with scrap, and then filled up the remaining volume to take up all that space with epoxy, and now it's like one solid cube of cured resin.
Capra just pointed out. So we did actually see Dark try and continue Neon Storage. He tried to make smaller boxes with it, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he approached it with a smart idea, like with a card box. So for your green, your blue, and your red cards, that's perfectly fine. You don't have a massive storage for cards usually, so that would be more befitting, wouldn't it? So maybe not the ammo storage, but I mean, you could have a Dropbox small box, couldn't you? That would be a great start. I'm just trying to figure out what else might you use a small box a lot for. I'm thinking outside. Go on, you speak.
Well, I'm not sure that I could come up with a list that would constitute a set, but I mean, we do already have a few small boxes. Like we have one for seeds, we have one that's for food, I think. Um,
Meds or
I
fuel?
think
That's a good one, Meta.
fuel is a great suggestion. Cards definitely works. You could have one for like things that you accumulate but aren't maybe ready to use, like maybe building supplies
Do
or
you
traps.
do you remember what I said? What Scientific was doing quite well just before it ended up finishing. They started making boxes for really random things that kind of make sense that people would store away. Diving equipment, farming equipment, fuel storage. Fuel storage was actually accepted. I feel like if you're going to do a small box set, maybe approach it that way. Go for the random things that still get used but don't necessarily have a box to itself. Diving equipment I always thought was a good one because a lot of people really do like to go around and play Rust that way. Go into the shipwrecks, attacking the sharks and whatnot. We don't have diving equipment storages, but in theory you'd think, you know what? Not a bad idea. What about fishing equipment? That's also not a bad one. I understand that the vast majority of people are going to want their armor storage and their gun storage, their med storage and whatnot. But like, it's kind of already been done. And sure, loads more people want to try and be the next guy, but why not be the guy that does the things that hasn't been done? Because it's an open market.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot.
I mean, I could see boxes for car parts. I could see boxes for, I mean, people were saying, what do you need a large box for scrap for? Well, I'll tell you what, a small box for scrap might actually be pretty useful.
Recyclables
Maybe
box.
keep it under your workbench.
We can finally recycle properly with the right boxes. Put your plastics here and your scraps there. That's perfect.
You could definitely stray from the central core of storage boxes like we've seen for large sets, which is like guns, ammo, tools, clothes, armor, comps, and so on and so forth. All of those sets are pretty well covered. We have like 5 or 6 full complete box sets now that cover all of those. So if we had started seeing some small boxes with the more niche categories, but things that you definitely still find in an organization system, like I'm not going to suggest we need a box for heavy plate armor, but sometimes you accumulate that stuff and you want to have it, but you don't want to put it in with the clothes or the armor. What do you do with it? I end up chucking it in the box that's like, I'll take it to go recycle it if I'm running out of space, but I'm going to hang on to it just in case I get raided or go out on the minicopter or something. You end up with this pile of stuff that you haven't really decided what to do with yet.
Right. Do you know what
kind of boxes I could use?
I think we need to stop talking about boxes because if we get carried away, the whole stream and the whole video will become boxes again like last week. Shall we?
We have a specialized type of box over here.
Do you want to
show that off?
So, if I'm correct, is it Kavensky? He's the creator of the set with somebody else. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's Kvency. I'm not sure if there's
my apologies
K in there, but
my apologies.
I don't want to be too particular. I don't know the guy's name, so I'm guessing just like you.
All I can give you is praise, all right? Because you are going ahead and going to all of the deployables that haven't had skins for a long time. You went back to Locker, and we finally got a Locker skin after 2 years. And you know what? Now he's going for the fridge. And the fridge is exactly the same as the Locker, because we have not had a fridge skin for about 2 years. It's been that long. And again, in the exact same position, with what you see here, fridges, all of them have gone up in price because we simply have not had another fridge skin in such a long time. Are we going to see another example where Outer Planets brings back to life the whole concept of making skins for things that people have seemingly forgotten about? So as we can see here, we have the Outer Planets fridge. Very nice and simple. Very nice. Oh, wow. What do we have over back here? Is that RGB lighting on the fans. Oh, gentlemen, do you like your pre-builts? They're getting very, very nice and cheap again. So, personally, I like it. And I know that if that gets accepted, we're probably going to see another 30,000 sales again, much like with the locker. And just to quickly talk about it, because I quickly discussed this with you earlier, we don't actually have problems with making skins with this, do we? We had that with locker, but people just haven't been making fridge skins, or rather, Face Punch just hasn't been accepting fridge skins for such a long time, have they?
We've seen some cool ones. I mean, I recall a couple artists making fridges over the past couple of years, and they've been sadly passed up.
So, would you like an Outer Planets fridge? Do you know what? I want to see what he does next. I honestly do think this is going to be accepted, and I reckon we're going to be seeing this for the next Rustore rotation. I feel very strong with that. Outer Planets, as a set, has been proven to be very successful and very in demand. Locker, the Locker sold for 32,000, and it's still above its Rustore price. Not insanely above its Rustore price, but it's held on to its price. It's managing well. We expected that because in terms of other options, all the other ones are more expensive, way too expensive, because it's been so long since we had a locker skin. Same example here. We have not had a fridge skin in such a long time. Those skins are expensive. It would be nice for all the people that have started playing Rust quite recently to be able to afford a very reasonably priced, very nice to look at Outer Planets fridge. And I do wonder, what deployables could he do next? Could we see Outer Planets chair? Could we see Outer Planets table? Could we see Outer Planets water purifier? I mumbled that one. Outer Planets water purifier. Come on, Kvensky. That's what I need. That's what I want. Is there anything else you could think of? What other Outer Planets thing could we get? Outer Planets bear rug?
Yeah, I mean,
Space bear.
You could start getting really obscure.
You could have the planets on the bear's eyes. That would work. Space bear, yeah. I don't know what else you could have. Has he made a furnace yet? I don't think so. Oh, we're throwing our ideas into his head now, aren't we? Honestly, if you could think of a very silly deployable that can be skinned without a planets, just say it. Go forth. I'd love to hear what you think. So, I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing you in the near future. Let's talk doors, good sir. Let's talk about doors. Because over here, we have a very interesting design. Very, very nice. It's a similar parallel to that Phoenix door that we have over there, where someone's come along and they've just arted all over a door, because that straight up looks very, very nice. If you could, do you have a flashlight on you, Mr. Micro?
Sure.
Could you aim it at this door?
Let me whip out my little gun here with a flashlight on the front.
So how does it reflect the light? Quite nicely. Looks very nice. But we do have quite a bit of a criticism for this, don't we? Shall we proceed with our talky talk time, Mr. Micro? Because we're going to be at it for a while. So
I'm not sure I'd call it a criticism, but maybe just a critique of the timing.
Yes, we'll go with that.
How to say it.
So we kind of agreed that this is a bit spooky. Not what's the right term? We kind of
sort of macabre, maybe, or it's got that like Edgar Allan Poe, like Victorian macabre kind of feel to it.
This is a skin where we feel like it would have been much better off if it was released for October. Uh-oh, I hear the helicopter. Micro, I hear the helicopter. He's coming again. If he gets close, destroy him. So, with what we see here, I love the design. But. The design of it, I feel like it's much better off if he released it during October time if it was a Halloween skin. You could easily sell that for like $2.99. I reckon during that whole month, people would go nuts for that skin. because it has a much more better feel for the time. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I just feel like the timing just kind of feels off for it. And with this whole design, I'm sure you can put that on boxes. I'm sure you can put that on double doors. I'm sure you can put that on, well, maybe a fridge. Make it a really scary looking fridge. But what we have here, if it doesn't get accepted, try again for October, because that just looks too good to not be accepted. But it just kind of looks just a bit too graphic, too, as you said, macabre for a regular day in Rust. But now we move on to over here. And we have what you call is Art Deco, correct? The roaring 1920s art style. And you know what? This helicopter, where is he? Micro,
all right.
dispatch
I'll
of
go
him.
take care of it.
Destroy.
Back.
The secret society is tired with its existence. Destroy it.
I'm coming. He's shooting.
Punch him.
Me.
Punch him.
There he is.
Alright, Micro won. Alright, congratulations, Mr. Micro. You just defeated the evil helicopter. Come on, Zootback. Where are you? I need to talk to you, otherwise I just sound like an insane person talking to themselves. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Hello. Falling from the sky again, are we? So, we have an Art Deco design, and as I said, a secret society always needs a very strange looking door to their secret lair. This is Illuminati in design, isn't it? Does that glow? Let's just take a look. It does not, but does it reflect light very nicely? It kind of does. You can see all the nice bump mapping there. It reflects quite nicely, doesn't it? The light.
Yeah, very shiny.
So, in terms of a door design, I'm not against it. I mean, if you're a very rich clan with a lucrative base, of course, you need to stand out at the front door. You need to have people realise that not anybody can just walk through this door. You have to be special. You have to be a special someone. But we have had...
It's called Secret Society.
I already said that.
oh yeah. So I'm sorry.
You're not welcome to the Secret Society. Goodbye. Ah!
I've been uninvited.
All right. But no, they fell through. No. All right. Damn it.
Oh, now we're both in the society of people with broken ankles.
Yes. Just put that back. But we've had a very similar design before, haven't we? We had the Mason's door. Now, that's a sheet metal door, correct? This is, in fact, a armored door.
That's right. The Mason's door is an armored door. So they have a very similar design aesthetic, I'll tell you that much. They both are heavily influenced by Art Deco and have like that same like Illuminati vibe to it. So I like it.
Very interesting. Turn off the lights. Yeah. All right. So just to point out, this is already out. This is just similar in design.
That's right.
Yeah, just wanted to point it out to you. So we've gone through the deployables. Is there anything else that needs to be shown off? Of course, we have clothing and weapons. So if you can go get yourself in position, fly away if you must. I will whip out the weapons. So we have some interesting things to show off. Oh, and the. So you really like this shotgun, don't you? You talked about it, how it's like the most rusty of rust skins that you could possibly have. It does not get more rusty than this. This is the most rusty skin that you could have in Rust. Can you disagree? Look how rusty it is. If I throw it on the ground,
I mean, you're putting words in my mouth to a certain extent there. Yeah, I mean, it's on the workshop this week, and I thought that it did, like exactly like you said, it very much fits into the theme of the game in terms of styling. It has that sort of weathered and bandity kind of look to it, and I thought it was very appropriate for the game. So I can't say that I expect this to get picked necessarily, but I just wanted to recognize it as something that
I'm not.
Finally like fit the game. Like of all the skins we've seen over the past months or years, not all of them are really all that rusty. So it's nice to see one every so often that really fits in that rusty feel.
I'm not questioning your choices. You've been pretty on the spot recently these past 2 weeks. You got Iron Wolf Sar correct. You got Zucchini Furnace correct. Maybe you're going to be correct with this. But however, here's the problem. When was the last pump shotgun skin that we had accepted? It's been a while, hasn't it? But they only just recently buffed the slugs, if I'm correct. So maybe they might want to promote. Maybe they might want to promote the usage of the slugs. Remember what they did with the combat update? With all the guns that had their recoils updated, they released a skin for them. They kind of subliminally insinuated that you'd want to buy these skins to then use those guns. Ooh, spooky. But yeah, you get the idea. So it's been quite a long time since the last pump shotgun skin. I would
almost a year.
Is it?
Toxic Wolf. Yeah, it was.
I remember that.
Year.
That has been a long time. So let's see if it gets accepted. Now I also have this ever so interesting looking hammer. Is this Greek design or is it Roman? Greek?
Yeah.
Marble?
I think it's Greek, but it's very. I'm not good at telling the difference. So
bam.
You could probably make the argument it's either one.
I like it. I'm not against it. Surely a big slab of marble would be great to whack my base with. It doesn't glow, does it? No.
Nope, no glow. But it does
glow.
have a nice sheen on like that gold detailing. And it definitely has like a marble sort of look and feel to it. So well done to the creator for a nicely sculpted, nicely textured hammer skin.
So what I also have here, words. I have an interesting revolver skin here. So what we have is the solar panel revolver. I saw this and I was very interested because it said it was glow in the dark, and I was like,
solar powered. Yeah.
Solar powered. My apologies. Now that makes sense in terms of what we see with the design of the gun here, because if I make it nighttime, can you see how it glows? It glows like it would for usual solar powered things, but we have a red bar on the back here. What do you reckon that red bar is for? Because it took me a while to realise, and I verified it with the actual creator just to make sure. But this is like a charge at the back. It's like a battery indicator. So
state indicator.
That's it, exactly. So this isn't a glitch. This is just indicating that you need to charge your revolver more. You're about to run out. So revolver skins are very, very, very safe. They're much like the Thompson. They tend to always be around the same price or at least a little bit above. Go check all the revolver skins right now. Go and see if any of them are below their rust-or price. If anything, the only one that's probably below its rust-or price is the black gold one. We haven't had a revolver skin since Black Gold, I believe, and then before that, Headhunter. We don't see them as much as we normally do, as much as we used to, but these are like the most popular tier 1 weapon, if I'm correct. Very reliable, very easy to make, very easy to produce. If you die, it's not the end of the world. They're handy. They're a handgun. How could you say no? So we can now zoom in onto you. So, good sir, could you also put on the new clothing if you can? And I shall look at you from a distance. Oh, I didn't press I. My apologies. So let's just zoom out. Here we are. So here he is holding the revolver whilst he is wearing an interesting clothing set that we see here. What is this that I see? This is the target clothing. I'm just going to zoom out. Hello, hello. So if you recall, we started off with target tier 2 not too long ago, didn't we? And we didn't see the tier 3 being accepted, did we? But now we've got the clothing. And it doesn't hurt. I don't hate it. I don't think we've had grey skins that much. The only grey clothing that I could think of was Nordic. That's the best thing I could think of. Looks very nice with that tier 2, by the way. You did a very good job, guys. Who's the creators again? It's
Slanosta and Retro.
That's it. Looks very, very nice for the set. So it's not white. It's not black. It's just Perfect. So, shades of grey. You're looking very nice in your pose right there, Mr. Micro. Let's make it morning time. Looking very good. Make it daytime. So, do you like the design of this revolver? I should point out there's a non-glow version and a glow version. So that is quite interesting, I'm sure.
Yeah, do you want me to you want to show that off in like the heavy darkness? Let me turn off these stage lights and we can show it off in like the pitch black.
Ooh. I mean, you got the Micro and the Hedge right behind you, but yeah, you can see that. Now, if I zoomed out quite far away, how easily noticeable is it? So if I stop, I stop here.
A huge giveaway.
From this distance, I can't see your gun. From this distance, I can properly see it. So you have to be reasonably close to be able to actually see it. Now, it's probably going to be different if I'm actually in my viewer model. So let me just do that. Let me go L, O, L. Let's make it nighttime. So if I zoom in, now I see it. And I'm here. I am positioned right here. Thank you for the bits, Mr. Perilous. Much appreciated. So, it's not a dead giveaway. Nothing to worry about too much, but as you get closer, the more... thank you for that.
Sorry about your eyes.
So, yeah. Solar flash. Looking very, very nice there. So, what else do we have to show off? We have the hammer. Let me get my eyes to work again. So let's just quickly show off that hammer. Oh, there's another weapon I forgot to look at myself, but you might have it in your pocket if you can show it off in a minute. Do you have the L96 skin?
Yes, I do.
Alright, we'll look at that in a minute after the shotgun. So yeah, very nice design on the hammer. Looking very, very nice. Looking very, very... I know, I never actually asked you, what's the name of this hammer?
That's a great question. The name of this hammer is the Antique Hammer.
The Antique Hammer. So, I like the design of it. Nice and simple. Nothing wrong with a big slab of marble. So, how about you pull out that shotgun that you love so much? The rusty rust shotgun. So rusty. How have you not oiled up this gun? Look how dirty and old it is. How could you be running around with that in your target clothing? Right. Do you agree with Mr. Micro? This is a great weapon that properly fits the whole aesthetic that rust is. I mean, I can't say no. I like it. I like it for what it is. You know what? It's nice to not have some super glowy, super colourful, in-your-face type of weapon skins. Sometimes nice, simplistic, banditry, wastelander, what other word could I think of? Delinquent sort of weaponry is perfectly fine. So yes. Now, Mr. Micro, you have an L96 skin to show off that I forgot to show off up close. It is the version 2 of the tempered L96. Is that correct? Is it version 2?
Mm-hmm.
So, he's really made it all fade here, isn't it? So, if any of you know what the alt fade is in CSGO, I think he's tried to make a sort of similar design. Big bit of purple there. A little bit of blue to the side of it. It's got like a blue outline and a blue tip. It's got the red and the pink there. Very, very flashy. Very, very interesting. But will it get in? Because the first one didn't get in, did it? We've seen a whole batch of random tempered things coming out here and there. But he's been quite... what is it? Milho Frito? He's been quite rampant every now and then where he'll just... he'll do it in like batches. Like he'll do 4 skins on the trot. And then he'll do something else. And then randomly he'll start doing them again. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I like the tempered set. It's just... it's nice to see that he's decided, you know what? I liked trying to make one for the L96. I'm going to try again. Because it wasn't accepted. I like people who keep trying. Is that a big old red laser sight over there? Don't shoot my wall. It's very nice and pretty. So if you can I have that? Can you throw it over to me? I'd like to hold... Ah!
Here's a couple bullets for you too.
Yeah.
There's one in. You could use the one in your head if it's not. If it's still there. It may be a couple thousand feet over that way. Oh!
Could you get that extra bit of clothing on? You know what I'm talking about. So, is this a weapon that you'd like to be wielding on top of your roof to annoy people from a distance? Ah, the life of a roof camper. Nobody can stop you before you are too wealthy and own too much weaponry for other people to stop you. Yes, so looking very nice. I'll throw it to the ground. Oh, got to bring this up. Oh. Yes. Oh, no sight in it. So. Oh, I'm pressing O, you fool.
There was a sight on it. Is it glitching out? Sometimes the scopes glitch out and they don't appear properly, even though they're attached.
It's fine. It's not too bad. I looked at it and people could see it in game. So yeah, it kind of looks like a Fade Orp to me. Kind of looks like a Fade Orp. Now it's an upside down Fade Orp. Now it's Fade Orp standing on the tip. And now moving over here. Because there's one more thing that we wanted to show off. And it's an implication. Because now after we talk about this, there's going to be a whole thing that I'm going to be talking about. And that is the glister boots. Mr. Micro, what's that you're wearing over there? Why, it looks like you have the glister set on. And if I am mistaken, that looks like it's a glister boots version 2. Mr. Samota has finished his CSGO... Oh, no, right, wait. Whoop, sorry. Mr. Samota has finished his CSGO vacation. After getting a CSGO skin accepted, he went on a bit of a break. Now he's come back, and he's coming back to the glister set. So what this implies is, as you know, with what's happened recently with the glister set, the glister hoodie mainly, they've been getting boosted on the Steam market, and lots and lots and lots of people have been approaching him saying, hey, where's glister tier 3? Hey, where's glister tier 3? Well, glister tier 3 wasn't accepted by Facepunch. Why? Don't know. Glister boots wasn't also accepted. We got the gloves, but we didn't get the boots. So, as you can see, Samota has come back and he's tried to see if he can get the boots accepted as a version 2. We're seeing a lot of version 2s recently now, aren't we? It seems when one creator got a skin accepted as a version 2, all the other creators have noticed and now they're trying for it. So whilst we haven't got the glister tier 3 from before, we could very easily potentially see in the near future glister tier 3 version 2. But that's not just all, is it, Mr. Micro? Because there's also a special time that started off last year that could be coming back again this year, isn't there?
Maybe.
It is.
I have no way of suspecting it, but, you know, if we know anything about patterns, you know, history repeats itself. So that's the only thing I could say.
So last year we had a thing called Complete the Sets. And the whole theme of it was to, well, complete the sets. Basically, some skins that may have come out a long time ago for a collection that was popular at the time, but it was never accepted. Well, the theme of this for about 2 weeks on the trot, so it was 1 week and then the week after, it was focused on picking out various different skins from the past, and then Facepunch went through them and picked out the ones they liked most. So I think I'm going to wrap up with the in-game showcase now at Micro, because now I'm going to talk about complete the sets and what that might imply. Have we gone through every single thing that we wanted to show off today, I think?
I believe we have. I believe so, yeah. Did you show a third-person view of the weapons from this week that I have on me? Like DB and the...
Yep. We did that earlier. I'm doing it now. So as you can see, I'm wearing the Black Gold Tier 3, as I pointed out. this might have not been the week for Black Gold Tier 3, but strongly feeling it for next week. And if it's not next week, then I'm going to be very worried. I'm pretty sure it's safe to be seen next week. So, got a nice view over here of me and Mr. Micro. He's holding a SAR skin that I cannot see, and that's a bit worrying. I'll leave you to it. So, thank you for your help, Mr. Micro. Much appreciated again. You did a very good job.
Welcome.
Please stop shooting me in the face. And I will quickly run off and go to bed. Implying this is what I was talking about. I have quite a strong feeling that we might see potentially this coming back again. Complete the sets 2022. Now, this would have to start in September again, I'm sure. September 2022. And we are potentially going to see the likes of possibly Glister Tier 3 and maybe the Toy Hoodie and Pants, because Toy Collection still needed one more piece to finally be complete. Glister just needs one more piece to finally be complete. I reckon this will come back, and I reckon that's when its chance is going to happen. But if Samoto decides to push on and try and get Glister Tier 3 version 2 out, I still reckon it has a good chance. Because I was mentioning this quite a lot very recently. We have not been seeing a lot of armor skins out quite recently. If you go and see this week's collection by TGG, there is no armor. There is no armor except black gold. There was the Berserker Gloves. They were accepted. Berserker boots. Right, so gloves were actually last week. Gloves were an old skin. They were an old pick. But yeah, you look through all of this. There is no armor except Black Gold Tier 3. Nobody else is putting armor out at the moment. So if Samoto were to do that Tier 3 soonish, there's pretty much a guarantee. It's pretty much got no competition, which is definitely going to be in its favour. But yeah, maybe we'll see the likes of Toy Collection appearing here, especially the hoodie and the pants. I really want to see Toy Collection finish. I'd like to see Frosty. I'd like to see Frosty hoodie and pants or Tier 3 being accepted again. That's a whole different thing. That's me moaning about something that happened at the beginning of this year when the Frosty Collection never got its extra pieces accepted. Don't worry, that's an old time. But yeah, just keep this on the horizon in your head. In about 4 weeks' time, this might happen again. So we can see this in SEMM. So September 9 and September 16, we got bits and pieces of like armor pieces here and here, deployables, and some tools and weapons and whatnot. So I'd like to see it happen. It could happen, but we'll just wait and see what happens from here on now. With this particular set of this particular week, as I said, this is looking to be perfectly fine. I reckon this is going to end up between 23 to 25,000 sales in total, as per usual. This, I worry about, much like with the AK. I just don't think people are going to be loyal to it. I'd like to be proven wrong. I'd like to see this guy coming out with a random, insane-looking skin every single week. And I'd like to see his things sell very nicely every single week. I'm very happy that it's selling well. I'm just surprised it's selling so high, so quickly. So that's cool. I still reckon the bow's probably going to be a very reliable investment. It is abnormal, so we don't have to rush into buying it. We can wait until Wednesday or Thursday, see the amount of sales. And then we can also do very aggressive buy orders as well. Remember, with the abnormal skins, we don't have to rush. We can take our time. We can see the buy order build up. We can see all the support it has with all of the buy order requests. Then we can make our decision. Chompy Sap and Meat Double Barrel Shotgun, I reckon, are probably going to suffer. It's unfortunate, but I just don't think the demand will be there. And Meta did point out a very interesting notion that it looks like if Berserker probably sold more than 10,000, it might suffer. But I still think it will do alright. Remember, if you kind of parallel it to the kilt, so in theory, the best pieces of armour you can have is the kilt, the tier 3, and the hoodie and the pants. Well, I think the kilt has the lowest amount compared to all of them. So in theory, you can only have there is the maximum amount of absolute complete sets would be around 12,000. So if this stays at around at least below 12,000, this should be perfectly fine. So I think that's everything covered. JPEG AK I already talked about. It's very 50-50. Like, JPEG set is looking to be a popular set, but even the SAR is looking like it's going to start struggling soon. Like, little by little, more and more are appearing on the market. I don't think it's going to hold. SAR skins haven't been super reliable recently either, and it's starting to show that this is looking like it's probably going to struggle for a bit. Let's see how well that does in another week's time. But yeah, the Thompson skin's always reliable. So yes, will the AK curse continue, or will this one flourish? Let's wait and see. And Zucchini is a Zucchini. It's silly. I don't know what else to say in regards to that. I don't think it's going to be changing the world. I think this is just going to follow the pattern of all the recent ones. It'll probably end up going down by about 25%. The average of all of the other ones quite recently. Down 22, down 23, down 27. I feel like it's going to be down like 25% like the other ones. So, I believe that's everything covered. Yep. Sorry, I was up quite late last night. TF2 had a very random case update and we were going crazy. I'm still trying to buy order all of the unusuals that haven't appeared just yet. Oh look, there's another one! Yeah! There's another one, sweet. So let's get a buy order on you. Perfect. What a perfect way to end the day. Haha, straight. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh no! Uh-oh. I've alerted everybody. They've noticed. Quick! I've got to be faster than everybody. Oh no! Somebody's noticed as well. Go away! It's mine! Go away! It's mine. Yeah, I've spent a lot of money on hats. I have other addictions. Okay, don't judge me, Rust people. All right, just because I have fun with other things doesn't mean. Yeah, so best of luck to everything else here. But next week, this next Thursday, it's going to be very interesting. I reckon we're going to be seeing some very interesting things this Monday. If this week had a whole bunch of early skins picked, what's stopping Face Punch from doing it all over again? But I'm thinking the Clove Storage, Black Gold Tier 3, so those two there, and the Outer Planets Fridge. I'm expecting those four to be appearing this next Thursday for the Wipe Day Rustore rotation. So thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and thank you for watching the video. If you, like I said, if you want to come watch, I'm here every day talking about skins and whatnot. Just pop into my streams. I have all the details to go to my Twitch in my descriptions for every single video. And yeah, so I welcome you to come see me and say hello. That's it. So thank you.